Hello, CESD families. Chowchilla Elementary School District would like to give you a COVID-19 school reopening update. At this time, we have a tentative reopening date of January 11th for grades TK through 6th grade. We are doing this in a scaffolded way. On January 11th, grades TK, K, 3rd, and 5th will return to school. On January 19th, grades 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 6th will also return to school. At this time, we do not have a tentative reopening date for Wilson Middle School. Our district is continuing to work with the health department to ensure that it is safe for reopening. With the holidays coming, we want to make sure that we are able to open on January 11th. If anything changes, you will get an update from Chowchilla Elementary School District again closer to January 11th date. When we look to return on January 11th, there are two program options that families can choose from. Those two options are hybrid return to school or virtual academy. First, I'm going to talk about a hybrid return to school. With a hybrid return, students come to school for in-person instruction 2 days a week and complete instruction from home on a distance learning model the other 3 days of the week. Students are still in school 5 days a week. Students will either be on an A track or a B track. On A track, students come to school for in-person instruction on Mondays and Wednesdays. On B track, students come to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays for in-person instruction. The other 3 days, students are at home completing assignments. Fridays are an asynchronous day for students to complete work as they are currently on our current distance learning model. When students are at home completing assignments, they will have 1 hour of synchronous live instruction from their teachers. The rest of the work that is to be completed will be provided by the teacher, including videos that students will need to watch. Computers will be provided at both home and at school so that students do not have to transport devices back and forth each day. Bell schedules will vary slightly from what they currently are to allow time for families to get from one school to another for drop-off and for pickup at release time. School will get out around the same time as it does right now on a current distance learning schedule, so students will not be at school for lunch. Lunch will be provided in a grab-and-go fashion, meaning that when students leave school for the day, they will grab a lunch bag on their way off campus to go home to eat. Students will have recess while they're at school. Recess will be done in zones outside at various times to ensure that students are safe and around their current peers in their classroom. Transportation is being provided, but due to social distancing, it is hard to provide transportation for very many students. We want to say thank you to the families who are going out of their way to ensure that they are working to bring their own students to school. We do know that some of you do not have the option to do that, and that is why we provided the hardship. Transportation, if transportation needs to be changed by any families, we need you to call the transportation department at 665-8014 to have a discussion with them. Schedules will allow times for parent pickups at different schools. In addition, you're probably wondering, what track will my student be on? Will I be on an A track or a B track? We will be notifying all families of the track that they're on in December with a notification mailed to your house. When students come to school for in-person instruction, they will be at the gate, they will walk through the gate, they will have their temperature checked, they will be asked if they have any symptoms, and we will review this on the decision tree in just a few minutes, and then they will go directly to their classrooms. I'm sorry, but due to safety purposes at this time, no adults will be allowed on campus other than staff members. We will ensure that all siblings are on the same track, even if they are at different sites, so that all families can come to school together on a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday. Parents are not able to choose which track their students are on. These tracks are being generated by population, hardship, and the area that which students live for transportation routes. If parents have put down that they would like to come to school on a hybrid model or on a virtual academy model, those decisions can be changed after listening to this video. If you put down that you want to come back to school on a hybrid model, but you would like to change your mind to virtual academy, you can go on to our Parent Square portal and fill out a virtual academy contract. By filling out that contract, we will know that you are choosing your program option and that you would like to make a change. If you put virtual academy and you no longer would like to keep your child on virtual academy, but would instead like to have them return to school for in-person instruction 2 days a week on our hybrid model, we ask that you please call your school office or the district office at 665-8021 and let them know that you would like to change your program option from virtual academy to hybrid. Another thing that we're going to be discussing is our decision tree, which includes parents doing a daily attestation at home. A daily attestation at home means that parents are going to make sure that their students do not have any symptoms or a fever, which is also a symptom, in order to return to school in a safe way. Any students who have any symptoms will be required to stay at home. Students who are receiving any additional supports like reading lab or speech will still be receiving those services when we return to school on a hybrid model, or if they are continuing to stay on a virtual academy model. We want you to know that part of coming to school on a hybrid return means that everybody, staff and students, are all safe. This is just some of the precautions that our district has taken to ensure that everybody is safe. We have face masks, face shields with a drape, disinfecting wipes and cleaners. We have thermo scanners and thermometers, gloves, desk shields for students, desk shield for our guided reading tables. We've provided water bottles and water filling stations so students can stay hydrated, but do not, our water fountains will be turned off for safety purposes. We have plexiglass barriers inside of our offices. We have purchased air purifiers with UV lights and HEPA filters for each classroom. We have antibacterial soap and dispensers. We have hand sanitizer in all of our rooms. We have sanitization buckets for daily clean with our fog machine. Our fog machine protocols, our disinfecting fogger is used on all parts of the campus, including classrooms, teaching spaces, offices, workspaces, restrooms, and playground equipment. When we talk about coming to school on a hybrid model, we want to make sure that every student is safe. Any student who has any of the symptoms on this symptom tree will not be allowed to come to school. This decision tree is a very important model that we ask families to look at closely. If a student has one low-risk symptom, they will be sent home. They will be told that they can return to school after being symptom-free for 24 hours. So if a student gets a symptom at school at 10 o'clock and they get sent home, they cannot return to school the next day at 8 a.m. However, they may be able to return to school the day after that on their following in-person day if they have been symptom-free for 24 hours with no medication. Some of these symptoms can be explained with a prior condition. If your student has any type of condition that may cause them to have any of those symptoms, we ask that you go to your doctor now and get a doctor's note stating that and turn it into your school office. We know that many students have things like asthma or allergies, which can explain potentially something like a headache or a runny nose. But we, as professionals here at a school district, are not doctors, and we don't know if your student has a symptom that could be caused by a pre-existing condition. So we do require that that is medically on file. Now we're going to move on and talk about our Virtual Academy program. Some students who go home because they have symptoms will be able to join their distance learning for the day. They do not have to miss their education. Whereas Virtual Academy is a completely 100% distance learning option, these students do not come to school at all for in-person instruction. So what is Virtual Academy? It is more of an independent study type of model, but it does require daily instruction at home. Students, again, will be using their computers that they currently have and completing assignments with teacher support. This program is very different than the current 100% distance learning model, where teachers are teaching all day. Our current teaching staff will now be focusing the majority of their day on their in-person instruction students, Monday through Thursday. which means that they will not be teaching online all day to distance learning students. This places much more responsibility on a family in the virtual academy model. The requirements of virtual academy are students must attend school daily, students must participate in daily live instruction for the entire session, and there is a 1 hour minimum of instruction provided by the teacher each day, and the teachers will choose that time and let their students, let their families know. Students must watch the videos provided by their teachers and complete their work daily and submit it. In completing all of their work and watching all of their videos, students will complete their daily instructional minutes required by the state of California. Students are also required to follow all rules and procedures set by the teacher, including things like having their camera on and staying engaged in the instruction. In order for students to be on a virtual academy model, they must feel comfortable using technology and submitting their work through the platforms like Seesaw and Google Classroom. In addition, families must have internet connectivity that works effectively. We know that students' attendance is important. The reason it's so important is because if students aren't in school, students are not learning. While on a virtual academy option, attendance is just as important. If students are going to miss school, please call the office or notify your teacher to let them know the reason why your student is not able to attend school for the day. Attendance proceedings such as SARB will still take place in instances where it is necessary. Now we're going to take a look at elementary schools, TK through 6th grade. Students will remain with their current teachers. We know that those students have built great relationships with their teachers. We don't want them to lose that. Social emotional is just as valuable at these times as content and instruction. We want students to have both. We know that the curriculum that they are receiving currently in their classroom is rigorous and extremely valuable. We want students to continue to have that instruction and stay aligned to what they are doing in the classroom. Students will receive 1 hour of synchronous instruction Monday to Thursday from their current classroom teachers. Again, that time will be decided by the teacher, and the teacher will let you know. The students will be watching recorded lessons and completing assignments to make sure that their instructional minutes are met daily. Fridays for Virtual Academy will remain the same as they are now for all students. In Wilson Middle School, Virtual Academy looks much different than it does for elementary school. In Wilson Middle School, students will have 4 teachers, 1 for English, 1 for math, 1 for history, and 1 for science. But those teachers could change from what they currently have. Students will be placed with Virtual Academy distance learning teachers. They will have 4 periods of Virtual Academy from home, and those teachers could be different than what they have right now. So students could have from anywhere from 1 to 4 teachers that are changing and different. Students must be present for live instruction each period of each day. Students will have a lunch break and then return for a rotating elective in the afternoon. On Friday, students will have asynchronous time and work to complete, and they will have a check-in in the morning with their teachers like they currently do now on Fridays. So what are the next steps? Today, we will be posting a Virtual Academy contract on our Parent Square website along with this video. We ask that you talk to your family and you talk to your students and you make a decision on if you would like to return for in-person instruction on our hybrid model, or if you would like to stay 100% distance learning on our Virtual Academy option. If you would like to stay 100% distance learning on a Virtual Academy option, you will sign the contract on the Parent Square portal before Monday, November 30th. If you have chosen Virtual Academy on your parents' survey, but you do not fill out the contract and you do not call the school, you will be getting a phone call from the school site to ask about your option and to make that change. Please remember that students who are not returning to school on a hybrid model should be students that are at risk for COVID-19 or medically fragile. We do want students to do what is safest and best for their family. Students will be required to stay on the virtual academy program option until the end of the next grading window. So for TK through sixth grade, that is the end of second trimester, which is March 5th. For middle school, that is the end of third quarter, which is March 19th. If you chose that virtual academy option, please know that your students will stay on virtual academy until those dates, and then you can make the choice to return to school. Please remember that Wilson Middle School students may have another teacher when they return on March 19th. If they were placed in virtual academy with different virtual academy teachers and they return to school on a hybrid model, they could once again have different teachers. If there is a special situation that requires that your student returns to school on a hybrid model or goes out on a virtual academy model before the March 5th and March 19th dates, you need to call the school site and make an appointment to discuss this on the phone with the site principal. We hope that this information was valuable. If you have any further questions, please call the district office at 665-8021 or your school site and ask them, and hopefully we can see you all at school in January.